Who do you want to get started with?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna start with Spain, COVID ravaged Spain, and look at Pedri. I think he had such an underrated season for Barcelona. I mean, he was the youngest ever Barcelona player to reach 50 appearances. I think he made 52 in total, which is absolutely absurd considering he just came from Las Palmas the season prior. And Ronald Koeman actually wanted to send him out on loan. I'm not sure if many people remember that, but I think there were inquiries from Borussia Mönchengladbach and Ajax, I believe, right at the start of the season when Koeman was sort of assessing his squad, should we say? And I don't think anybody envisaged him making such an impact and being such a consistent figure for Barcelona, especially during their difficult start to the season. I mean, they brought things round a bit towards the end of the campaign, even though they bottled the last few games when there was a hint of a title charge on. But yeah, he's just so silky, so smooth. Um, Links play so well. He's so nice on the turn. He's got great touch with both feet, and for me, the ultimate sort of test for his quality was how often Lionel Messi passed to him. And sometimes you look at Messi and it's just like, oh God, I don't want to pass to this guy, and he'll sort of try and do everything alone. But there were a few nice goals. I can remember one against Athletic Club in particular when they sort of exchanged a couple of passes with each other, and then Pedri did this insane back heel to put Messi through, and he finished it so well. And for me, that was kind of like an understanding from Messi that this guy's he's different, and I just think he had such an impressive campaign, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was a difference maker for Spain during the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Pedri, I think the thing that I like about him is that he kind of does a bit of everything. He's a very good distributor over medium to long distances. He's not always successful in ground duels, but he'll muck in and he'll do the work. But he's just got that, as you say, that class, that ingenuity about him. And if he was a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, and having the season that he had at Barcelona, coming off a no prior experience of La Liga, I think we'd all still be very impressed. But the fact that he's still just 18 is it's a reflection of why he probably should be in with a shout of starting for Spain at the European Championships, provided that he doesn't return a positive COVID test in the meantime. But that has been the big news in the past few days. Obviously, the first positive test was Sergio Busquets, and then Diego Llorente tested positive. Luis Enrique obviously naming a 24-man squad out of a possible 26 to begin with, because he wanted to bring in just the players that he knew he was going to use, and has now been forced to call up 11 of the under 21s and 6 reserves. So it's kind of been a bit higgledy-piggledy for the Spanish in their last few days preparation. Do you think that, in that group, Steve, do you think that there's anyone in particular who might be able to exploit that if, say, for example, a few other Spanish players do have to drop out, and some of the 21s have to step up, because they did relatively well against, albeit it was Lithuania, beating them 4-0 the other evening. But is there any teams in Spain's group where you think that they could potentially exploit that, and any players in particular?
I'll answer in a second, but just on Pedri, and just to pick up on Phil's point, I was watching, I think, the first Clasico of the year, and Graham Hunter was commentating, and he said that exact same thing about that Pedri has arrived and he's comfortable at this level and he's up for it, because he's one of the guys that Messi will look up and he will have like no hesitation to give him the ball. And at 17, or I'm not sure if he's turned 18 now, to have the confidence of the best player in the world like that, you're definitely moving in the right direction. So yeah, a step up from the second division to make it so seamless is super, super impressive. But yeah, to continue on in that group, I think a player that everyone will be looking at to maybe cause a few upsets, although Sweden themselves have some issues, I believe, with COVID in their squad. But it's Alexander Isak from Real Sociedad, who has come off his best ever season. I think he scored 17 goals in the league off the top of my head. It was just fantastic this season. I think he's a player. If you haven't watched Isak, he reminds me a fair bit of Dusan Vlahovic at Fiorentina. He's not a target man type, but he's a great athlete. Looks to get on the shoulder. He's a fantastic penalty box poacher. But he's also, decent with the ball at his feet, although at, pretty low dribbling volumes. Passing is probably not his strong suit, but he should be a guy that will be a big threat for Sweden, that'll probably look to play a more transitional style going forward at this tournament.
Yeah, sure. And Isak is certainly a player that I'm looking forward to watching more of, because watching La Real in Europe has been, it's been good, it's been fun, but I don't watch them week to week. So watching Isak in close quarters, hopefully over the next month or so, will be quite good. I think that that Group E, that Spain and Sweden are in, has the youngest player at this tournament, and that's Kasper Kozlowski with Poland. He's 17 years old. I think Jude Bellingham of England is the second youngest, who's also 17. They are the only two 17-year-olds at the tournament, which is quite exciting, because it's always fun to see who the youngest player is at a major international tournament. And I think, given that there could be potential COVID issues with Spain and Sweden in Group E, that Poland could potentially be a dark horse in that group and maybe go a little bit further than many people might expect.